Good morning and welcome to our presentation about data engineering and about Falck. I'm very happy and very excited actually to talk about all interesting things what we are doing in a company with a great purpose and with a great history. And what we'll be talking today about is actually who we are, who are Falck, who are digital technology, data, and of course, what are we doing in data engineering. Please be with us till the end. You will see a lot of interesting stories, what we actually achieved here. You will hear a lot how we are developing best in the class data engineering setup. We will talk a lot about machine learning, about AI, about how we as data engineers are changes the digital setup in a company. But first of all, of course, let's start with introduction. Our introduction. So my name is Vasyl Zaiats. I'm heading data engineering here at Falck. I'm more than 6 years at Falck. I'm really proud to work here for so many years. 15 years in IT industry, doing a lot of awesome engineering, software engineering, data engineering work here. A lot of work related data projects, and I'm really happy to have Marek with me today.
Good morning. So here's Marek Chłopek speaking. I'm data engineering manager or tech lead in Vasyl's team. So I have over 13 years of experience, and a lot of it I spent working on various data engineering solutions, developing, designing, team leading, and so on and so forth. That's why I decided, that it will be a great journey to join Falck. So I've been working here for almost 6 months. 6 months, joining in July 2024, so this year.
Yeah. And what Falck actually is doing, and about Falck a little bit. If you take a look what Falck is doing, and if you can maybe choose one sentence. So Falck is actually integrated healthcare company. We are providing so many different services around the globe. We are providing both healthcare and we are providing also emergency services. We have ambulance services. We help people who had troubles on the road with roadside assistance. We are transporting patients. We are also helping people all around the world through our global assistance, travel services. We have firefighter services and many others. And I'm really proud to work at Falck, as Falck has amazing history. That started more than 100 years ago, actually with a fire. So it was a fire in Copenhagen, and founder of Falck, Sophus Falck, he was someone who came up with the idea of having private fire brigade, and that's how whole Falck history started. And Falck started operating, of course, first in Denmark, spreading operations all around the globe. So we are delivering around 9-10 million services, different type of the services around the globe. We have more than 25,000 in 26 countries. Of course, our stronghold is Nordic, but we have operations in Latin America, in Colombia, Uruguay, and in other countries. We are also operating in US. We have emergency services and 911 services in California and also in Colorado. And of course, we have industrial firefighters all over the Europe. We have public firefighters. We are also operating emergency and ambulance services in Europe. So we are all over the globe trying to help people, trying to save people's lives, trying to improve people's lives. So if you will take a look on us also from another side, I would say that actually you can look on us as someone who deliver preventing, acute, and rehabilitation services. First of all, we are trying to make sure that as less people have actually a need of emergency services and rehabilitation services. So we work a lot with psychologists, with physiotherapists to make sure that you are healthy as a customer of Falck and you don't need to go to hospital. Another part, of course, if not the best situation in your life happened, we are here to help in certain companies. We are here to help with 911 and emergency services. But also after that, using digital technologies using telemedicine and all type of rehabilitation services. We are making sure that you are really quickly get back on track, get back to work and to family, and we are here to support you through quite diverse services around the globe. And actually, that was about Falck. And now let's talk, what are we actually doing in digital technology? How we, as digital technologies employee, trying to modernize and digitalize Falck. Marek, word to you.
Yeah, so let's talk first about the digital technology. So we'd like to introduce you to our department. But before we jump to saying a couple of words about the structure, initiatives that we're working on, and so on and so forth, let's start with the vision, because everything starts with the vision. So what's the vision behind digital technology? So it's quite simple and clear. So we would like to have built and develop a trusted, cutting-edge digital platform that will enable us and our employees to use all of their potential, to provide great user experience, as well as safe and healthy lives of our customers. Yeah, so that we'll be creating innovative digital healthcare experiences. That's our vision. That's our promise at Falck Digital Technology. So let's say just a couple of words about our structure and key initiatives that we are having at Digital Technology. So I can say that the home of all data engineers, Python specialists, is data function. So all of our digital technology is merged into so-called functions. One of them is data. So that's home of that's the place in which all our digital solutions are created. But of course, that would be not enough, to have just data engineering expertise, because also we need to have to ensure that architectural-wise everything is designed in a proper way, that we have infrastructure that we need to build on our solutions, that in terms of cybersecurity, compliance, nothing wrong happens, so that we have some global component standards created, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so such such functions are all supporting us to provide cutting-edge data engineering solutions. And let's have a look about key initiatives. We just put 8 of them because there is no more space in the slide. Yeah, we wouldn't like to get you bored about talking about many, because there are many more of them. But let's just go quickly through a couple of them, so that we can show how diverse work we have. How different topics we are working in digital technology. So. For instance, we are working on the finance platform transformation. So we are working to create a unified global finance platform that improves data quality, enables global processes, also improves collaboration. Another initiative is replacement of the dispatch and billing system. So we are having some legacy one, we are replacing it with the new one. Yeah. Also, we are taking care about cybersecurity. We would like to ensure that we have reliable infrastructure to increase cybersecurity. Also, we have yet another initiative related to robot process automation, to automate business process, yet another initiative about generative AI, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so as you see, really different topics going on here at Digital Technology. So now let's move to two slides, yeah, in which we'd like to tell you more about our Digital Technology Poland office, which is a digital technology hub alongside Denmark and Colombia. So now I just present you a couple of facts, and then in the next slide I would like to tell about very interesting events, initiatives, not only related to work, but are happening in our office. So Digital Technology Poland was established in 2022, and we are located on 8th floor of Skyliner building in Warsaw, near Rondo Waszyńskiego. Currently, we are providing services in 26 countries, and there are over 180 IT specialists working in our office, including data engineers, architects, software engineers, business analysts, application specialists. And we are all, this huge group of people is supported by our great back office team, currently consisting of 10 people. So now I'd like to share with you some interesting events, things that are going on in our office. So first, I would like to start with annual events. So each year we are hosting 3 annual events here: Global IT Summit, Away Day, and we are also celebrating Christmas Day. We are organizing monthly breakfast. Even we had one today, like an hour ago, in which both internal and external guests are providing some great speeches. We are engaged in many social events. Like quite recently, there was a fundraising for animal shelter. Now we are engaged in Szlachetna Paczka. So many things going on there. And if our employees have birthdays, promotions, we don't forget about it. We like to celebrate the day with them. So very often, when there's this celebration, we have a cake in our kitchen. So sometimes even every day there is something to celebrate. So there is yet another cake in a kitchen. So we are not forgetting, because we would like to be like a group of like a team, not a group of separate individuals, but like a team working together and feeling well together. Yeah, that's why it's very important for us to celebrate such things. And last but not least, of course, so Warsaw office is a really great place if you own a dog. Yeah, if you love dogs, then each Friday you can take your dog with you. The dog can enter the office. It has a dedicated place in the office, so dog can spend all day with its owner in our office. Okay, so now I think, Vasyl, it's time to share a little bit information about our data function.
Yeah, data function, one of the functions in data that is actually working across 2 continents, so here and also in Latin America, and in three countries. It's more than 100 people. And actually, I will start from this one, saying that we have a data strategy. So we have a North Star that is showing where should we go, what is our vision. And in short, this pyramid shows that, first of all, we as a data function, we always prioritize and make sure that our data quality has a really high quality through technologies, through platforms. What are we doing? We are upskilling people. We are bringing our competence to a completely different level. And I would say the goal of whole data strategy is to make sure that everyone in a company with the competence and using the technologies and platform can use self-service platform. And by the way, we will talk about how exactly we implementing this self-service platform from technological point of view, what technologies we are using, what is the architecture of it, and we'll show a little bit of sneak peek of it. So stay tuned. And about data and teams in the data, it's quite also diverse. We have, of course, data analytics, who are focusing on building analytical and data foundations. We have master data, who is in charge of data quality and governance. We have Power Platform and AI services that are building in-house Gen AI capabilities and low-cost solutions. We have also strategic automation, helping with automate processes and improve quality of solutions. But that's about data, and now is actually we will be talking about data engineering, our team. So Marek, what are we doing?
So let's start description of our team with 2 critical things. So what's our purpose, and what value we deliver. So of course, one of the most important purposes that we may think about and we have here in our team is simply to develop technical solutions which will help our business to operate efficiently, will simply help healthcare quality. Yeah, that's the most important purpose. Another one is when we have this solution, of course, we need to provide the data. Yeah, so the data have to be provided on a timely manner. So whenever data is needed, the proper data should be delivered at the proper time. Yeah, that's yet another thing. But we also cannot forget about that we are the team, and as a team, we would like to grow. Yeah, so we are really taking care of upskilling. So we have dedicated training budget. We are participating in some external events. We are starting new initiatives using cutting technologies, and later on we'll share with you 2 examples of such initiatives. So that's our purpose. Yeah. So let's ensure that our team will be growing, delivering what we have, but also growing. Yeah. And what value we are delivering. So of course, the main one is we provide a model framework which ensures that the data is processed in the standardized way, and which simply makes Falck a truly data-driven company. Yeah. But of course, data is just the data. Yeah. So it's good to have data, but what is more important is to get the proper insights from the data. Yeah. So that's our another value that we are delivering. So thanks for the data, thanks for these insights, we are able to optimize a lot of things, make them more efficient. So like we are optimizing shift start, we are reducing idle time, we are, thanks to the insight from the data, we are able to dispose the right people with the required skills at the right time and place, and many more. Also what's very important, we are a very diverse team. So currently we have 35 professionals, and we have people coming from 17 different nationalities working in 3 countries, Poland, Denmark, and Colombia. And for us, it's also extremely important to ensure that there is again gender equality in our team. So 40% of all team members are women. About technology stack, maybe let's jump to the next section of our presentation, in which we'll present you our framework that we are working on. So then we'll
more in details.
Exactly.
Not only buzzwords, but more in details.
Exactly.
Let's jump to it.
Yeah. So let's focus on the technology and the projects that we are working on. So starting with the technology stack. So we are following the so-called data lakehouse paradigm here at Falck. So that's the combination of the best things taken from the data lake and data warehouse. Yeah. So it enables us to both gather, store data from multiple sources. It may be, cloud sources, maybe some SFTP input files, relational databases. Basically, everything may be as an input that we'll use and store. And on the other, so here, here the schema is not enforced, yeah. But on the other hand, we are also ensuring that in our data lakehouse, we'll have data that is very well structured, ready, to be consumed by our business, ready to be used in the models, semantic models, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So going through the very unstructured data, raw data, to the data that is processed, cleansed, and ready for the business consumption. So let's have a look now at this diagram and the details what we have here. So let's have a look at I will call it the heart of our data lakehouse. So the place in which we are storing and transforming the data. So here we have 3 zones: raw zone, standardized zone, and created zone. And in raw zone, all of the data from a source system are landed, are not changed, are simply stored, so that we can have a look at them, profile them, do some initial analysis. It's just a storage of all raw data. And then data is pushed to the standardized zone, in which it's cleansed, it's standardized, yeah, so it's being prepared to be used in a last zone, which is called curated zone. So this one contains the data in the models in a way that is suitable for further consumption. That can be used as an input for the semantic models, can be used for input for Power BI reports. Users can access it using Unity Catalog, self-service initiative. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a couple of minutes. Yeah, and about technology stack. So most probably you've already noticed that we are using Azure here. So Azure is our main cloud platform. All of the data processing happens in the Databricks. So we are using a lot of PySpark. That's why we are here in the Python conference. Yeah. And all of the data flows have to be processed. Of course, we are using Data Factory for this. We're also taking care of security, governance. We are using DevOps. So maybe Vasyl, you would like to add something?
Yeah, I would say what is also important is that, of course, it's a journey. So right now it calls medallion architecture, but to be honest, near 4 years ago, it was really hard even to find a block. about this type of architecture. We started this journey. It was quite challenging because it was just the beginning of whole lake house. We are really happy of it. And in the next actually presentations, what we will also talk about, that we are not binded to it. It's not set in stone. We all the time evolve and develop it. And we will show specific examples how exactly we are extending this architecture. What we are also proud is that all of our code is in Terraform, so we have infrastructure as a code. Everything can be reproduced anytime. Our DevOps engineer put a lot of efforts actually to make sure that all of that is on a high standard. And of course, right now it's quite dynamic. Right now we are trying to expand. For example, one of the projects that we have, we're trying to expand with more and more programmatic access to our data lake. But more about that soon. And let's talk actually about one of the projects that make a huge difference, I believe, for Falck. We will talk about ESG One Truth project, about sustainability and why is it important. So we as a Falck, of course, we operate a lot of vehicles around. It's ambulance, it's roadside assistance, it's patient transport. We, of course, produce CO2 and other type of emissions. And what is really important for us is that we actually said, no, we need to change it. We need to transform all our services in the way that the way as we actually deliver services, it's more and more sustainable for a society, for communities. And the first step, how we are doing it, of course, we need to measure what is our emission. So whole project, whole ESG agenda. ESG means stands for environmental, social, and governance. It's all about, first of all, making sure and understand where are we. So what it is about, we are building one centralized and trusted solution for all types of ESG data. So we have, for example, such social data as pay gap, as social protection, making sure that our employees have appropriate protection, pay gap. We also have working with all environmental data, starting from electricity consumption, mobile, and fuel consumption. It's all type of heating. We also are working with governance data, as for example, employee engagement and complaint. So we get all of the data into our solution, into our ESG One Truth solution. Why? First of all, I think to analyze and to understand what is the baseline, what is our mission, and what are our KPIs here. Second one, of course, we have regulatory reporting. So it's mandatory actually to report all of the numbers in European Union. And third, the most important, we need to change our performance. We need to change and optimize our delivery model here. So it's a lot of sources, it's a lot of data, all type of data that we need to consume here. And taking a look more from technological side is actually what do we have here? First of all, as Marek mentioned, we use Azure. We use data lakes. Our by default data format is Apache data lake. We are trying to use open source technology where it's possible, if it is possible. So that's why we're also using Apache Spark and PySpark. PySpark is our main framework, and Python is our main programming language here. So that's why we are here in PyTech Summit. So we are ingesting data from all different types of structured and unstructured data. So everything starting from a CSV line somewhere to actually SQL databases, webhooks, APIs. We transform, because you need actually to merge, to transform all of the data into one standardized data models, and that's a lot of work. On the top of it, we have a front-end application where people can also edit and upload and add additional data, because unfortunately, right now, all of that ESG agenda is only beginning, so it's not so easy to find automatic and more robust sources. So a lot of data is also manually uploaded to have at least one application when, let's say, our vendors, our data providers will be ready to give us this data. After which one, people can analyze using Power BI, using another analytical tool, and they can also use Power Apps as front-end tool to make all their day-to-day work. So this is one of the examples where actually the work that we are doing aligned one-to-one with the strategy of the company to be more sustainable, to have only positive impact on society and communities where we operate. And another example that Marek will show in a minute is also one of the examples how we would like to optimize the way as we are serving our emergency services, how we as a Falck, as a company, can deliver best-in-class services when people need it in acute way. Mm-hmm. Marek, over to you.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Vasyl, for this introduction to this initiative. Yeah, it's very also interesting initiative, because as you remember, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago that we are also taking care about upskilling our team, and that's one of the examples in which we discovered that there is a business need, to optimize patient transportations, and we are thinking what will be the best way to approach it, and we decided, yeah, let's use machine learning. A couple of months ago we haven't had this knowledge, this expertise in our team, but we decided, yeah, let's learn it, let's gather knowledge, and let's work on it. Yeah. So currently we are in the MVP stage. I'll tell you about it in a second, but maybe, yeah, let's start with the business context and the challenge so that you know what we are talking about. Yeah. So business context. So Falck is providing patient transportation services in Spain, in Barcelona area, and aim of these services is to coordinate patient transportation from different locations, from home, from other places to various healthcare facilities. But this seems easy, but actually it's not so easy. There are quite a lot of challenges here, yeah. Because first of all, each time that we have to transfer patient from one place to another, the road is different, yeah. So this first thing, let's optimize the roads. Another thing, the roads, yes. Another thing is that different patients require different paramedics, different care, yeah? So different people with different specialization have to simply assist them in the transportation between home or some other place to a healthcare facility. Also, we have to ensure that we have these people, so these people is available. Yeah, so we have to know which patient with what condition have to be transported where. And as you see, there are multiple factors there that have to be considered. So we have to know how to set up everything in an optimal way. Yeah. Also taking into account availability of our people in the different locations. Also on a shift level. Yeah. So on a one shift, we may have people with some capabilities, another thing with yet another one. So we have to ensure that proper people can serve the patients in a way that patients always feel safe and taken care. Yeah, that's really critical. So let's jump to the solution. So as I mentioned, we are currently working on the MVP, and we decided to use the machine learning approach. So we are utilizing AI tools available in Databricks. We are using MLflow, and we are using models to predict two things. So one thing is the demand, so number of services and kind of the services to type of the services to be provided, and another thing is the supply. So that let's optimize, as I mentioned, let's predict what people will be needed, on what day, what type of transportation. That's critical, and we are currently using testing performance of different models. So ARIMA, Propet, XGBoost, LSTM. And we are comparing them using root mean square error, root square or MIP metrics. Yeah, so we are now simply trying them, exploring them, and checking which one will be working best for us. And the results once we have the results, when we select the model or models that are performing the best, we will have, of course, the most important part from the, let's say, business perspective is let's present the results to our operations team, so that they are able to optimize medical staff allocation. Yeah, that's our aim. So it should enable us to operate at a higher efficiency and at lower cost. Yeah, so that's what we like to achieve. So we can just spend a minute looking at the diagram at the bottom of the slide, so that we can quickly go through the flow of the data. So we have source data, then the data, raw data is extracted in ADF, and it's saved in data lake storage.
ADF stands for
Azure Data Factory. Exactly, Azure Data Factory. And then data is transferred in a Databricks and is stored in Unity catalog. Then ML flow goes into the action, so it's used for experimenting with different kind of models. And the metrics and parameters are stored for model comparison. That's critical to have it, to be able to select the best performing model. And the best model is registered in Unity catalog. And the last but not least, as I said, the most important part is to present the results to the business to the operations team in Power BI reports. Yeah, so these forecasts are calculated using registered models and saved in Unity catalog, and then consumed by the reports. Okay, so before we jump to the next initiative, we have a very important announcement for you. So we know that some of them have already signed up for the contest, but for those of you that haven't done it yet, please don't miss the contest. So we have really great prizes there: high-end gaming laptop, VR set, headphones. So there is a task related to the machine learning to be solved, and you have a couple of days to solve it. So the contest ends this Sunday. Yeah, so still 5-6 days left. Yeah, so if you haven't signed up for it, please have a look at it. Here you can use the VR code, which will redirect you to the link in which all of the details are presented. Also, you can have a look at our subpage in PyTech Summit event page. You can also there is also a link that will redirect you to the contest details and sign up for. So don't miss the contest. Yes, don't miss it. Okay, so let's move to the next one.
Let's move to the AI. First of all, of course, we have a dedicated team. It's our platform AI team who is working in AI at Falck. And what I will be presenting now is actually what our data engineers, inspired by our colleagues who had amazing results, did really useful tool for ourselves. So we have documentation, even if data engineers and engineering engineers, they don't like to write documentation, but we have a lot in a week in many other places. And the challenge is how we can actually find something. So much projects of 35 people, so many projects, so much pages here and there. And what was done by some of the data engineers, they created a chatbot. So it's a retrieval augmented generated chatbot that actually goes through a vector search and trying to find specific document and also summarize what do you have in that. And it helped a lot. It's really practical example that when you use your data, when you have good data and based on your data, AI can actually help and show really great results and help a lot actually with onboarding and with jumping between different topics. We are showing a variety of solutions here for you. First of all, to explain and to stress that we have actually a variety of different projects. So on a skill set based on I would say on a business area, you can be challenged all the time. So it's not only one architecture end to end, but quite diverse place here. And jumping from AI, and this is a really quick example of it, to going back to emergency and how do we actually make sure that our technologies are helping in another way to improve our emergency and ambulance services. In this actual example, fire services. Marek, word for you.
Yeah, sure. So now, when time really matters, yeah. So now we should, when time really matters, we should have some solution that will enable us to process data in real time. So that's our case. So maybe let's start first before we jump to the actual business case that we are now working on. Let's think about why we decided, to think about solutions that will enable us to process data right or real time. So we see that we've noticed that in many areas, cases, if we had the data in real time, it would be a great business benefit, great business value. Yeah. So firstly, when there is a need to promptly, really quickly respond to something, to delays, or provide information immediately or without undue delay, yeah, for sure, real-time solution would be a go here, yeah. Another thing is when there is risk of some contractual breach associated with penalties. So if we don't react in a quick time according to SLAs, then also we should be able to do it. So we need data in real time or in the right time, yeah. And but this is the business context. But what challenges do we have? So if you like to use the standard data processing using batch approach, there are a couple of issues with this. So first of all, such way of processing data is okay, is fine if we can accept like 15 plus minutes of delay, 15, 30, or even more. Yeah, it works very well. It's designed for it. But it's actually not really designed for processing data in real time. Yeah, so we can try to squeeze all of the batch tools to process data as soon as possible. But actually, it may end up we may need to make a big investment, or sometimes it's simply not possible at all. Yeah, because to accept data like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, that's it. Yeah. Okay. So
it's too long.
It's too long.
And what are we doing what we actually practically doing? Let's go maybe to this one.
Yes.
Marek, what have we implemented right now to reduce this time and have proper timeliness?
Yeah, so we decided to have yet another MVP. So that's yet another example of how we are upskilling and adding new capabilities to our team. So we decided to kick off MVP to develop Fire Incident app, which requires no more than 1-2 minutes of processing delay. And maybe just a couple of words about this Fire Incident app. So whenever some accident happens, when crew goes to the incident, helps, the crew commander he or she has to input all of the information related to the event incident or accident, where it happened, who was dispatched there, how many vehicles, what type of vehicles, and so on and so forth. Currently, it's done manually, but we know that some of this information is simply available in the dispatch system that we are using. So why not to just load it to a form that crew commander has to fill in when he or he's helping and working the incident, helping people. So we decided to build something future-proof. So the foundation for our MVP is Confluent Kafka. That's the head of our solution. What I have to add here is that this initial setup is a kind of compromise between processing speed and ability to deliver in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So there are some limitations that we have. So there's some branch location of the source system. We are processing input data files, but we'll be fine-tuning this in a couple of weeks or months. And how this data, what's the most, let's say, important is how this data is presented to the crew commander. So after this data, it's extracted from the source system, processed by the Kafka, then processed by Databricks. It should be loaded to the Power platform. We have the Power App dedicated form in which all of this information that is already available in the source system should be automatically loaded. Yeah.
And just one really quick example, thanks for that, a really quick example about self-service initiatives that we just started. And if we can summarize all of that work, what we want to make sure that people are empowered and our end users are, our data is democratized, and we are truly data-driven. And just one of the examples, so what we just started using more and more is Python, Next.js, and PostgreSQL. How actually to democratize all of that near real-time right time, and so on. So this specific project, near real-time project and self-service project, is actually in super active development phase. And if you will come and join, you will have impact actually how things are built, how do we use Python and Next.js here. So come and join. So finishing all our presentations, saying that we are really happy to present so many projects. We could speak days and hours here, but time unfortunately is limited. So come and join and have impact and work with a company that has positive impact on society and communities where we operate. And I believe it's a time for questions right now.
Yeah, thank you very much. So question number 1, how does Falck Digital Technology approach implementing machine learning solutions for healthcare and emergency projects?
I can answer.
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah.
Going back to our case with machine learning.
Just a couple of slides.
Before.
And
so
here it is.
First of all, when it comes to machine learning in healthcare emergency, we need to remember that whatever we are doing here, it has a direct impact. It has a direct impact on customers and consumers, and this is first of all people health, sometimes even people life. So we need to be really mindful. What are we doing? We have to be really careful what we are delivering. And we started with the cases where we can, first of all, in a safe way, make sure that we have a positive impact and we help our operations. So this is one of the examples. Another of the examples is, of course, predicting and forecasting all our operation on all our services, and actually predicting and forecasting such things, actually how we can help customers when they are calling to us, how we can using machine learning help them. As Python is our main programming language, it's not a problem to use any type of model. It doesn't really matter do you use proper or XGBoost and so on. What is really important is it has a business value, because we can always sit hours and days and develop many things here, but it has to actually bring a positive value. I believe right now, when we have right now really solid data foundation, that's actually a time we can start applying all of that ML. Because in order to do machine learning, you need to do first phase of grabbing data together, get something of this data, meaning doing data science work, and only then applying a machine learning algorithm. So I believe right now we're in a position where we will actually have possibilities to do more and more ML in healthcare and emergency, forecasting and predicting our services, clustering the needs, clustering, I would say, clustering our customers with their sickness, with their diseases is another part, and also predicting on the fly when we will combine near real time and we will combine machine learning, so we can even increase our operations efficiency more and more. So and of course using, let's say, Databricks that has a lot of out of the box MLOps capabilities like ML flow, and not only, but you can also register experiments when you can track it and serve it. That's the thing. We have near 10 terabytes of data only in our European data lake. So we have a lot of data and a lot of good and trusted data that we can actually play and work with. So it's just a matter of time. I hope I answered this question.
Yeah, thank you, Vasyl. Why is it the first time I've heard of you work in secret? No, actually, it's like, I think we are not working in secret. We are quite still a young company, yeah, because
100 years, but still.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you're right. Falck is not a young company, but I mean, our digital technology
Yes.
Poland
Yes.
Poland department. Yeah, because we've started our journey in the IT world like 2 years ago. Yeah, so we were growing quite fast in the recent months. So such event like PyTech Summit is the place in which we would like to show that we are existing. Yeah, we are a great place to work. As you see, we are using really cutting edge technologies. So I think that's the reason, yeah, because we are growing, we are developing, and for sure we'll hear more and more about us in the upcoming.
But the amazing question. Actually, there's also something that we need to be more and more vocal about all great work that we are doing here.
Yeah, and it also proves that it's great that we are here.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Could you share more details about your cloud transformation strategy?
Of course. Approximately 6 years ago, when I arrived at Falck, so everything was on-prem completely. And imagine that how many actually legal entities and how many types of the businesses we have. So imagine the myriad of all possible types of architectures, infrastructure, hybrid, on-prem, who knows what. And we started with experimenting, because it was really hard to say, okay, which exactly vendor you would like to pick up, which exactly architecture you would like to pick up. So we said, okay, let's choose 3 POCs where we will evaluate this vendor, and this vendor, and not just go through, let's say, a checklist in a sales PowerPoint, but actually try something and then make a decision. So we started with this POC. We say, okay, we go with Azure, and we are going with something that right now actually calls Medallion Architecture and Lakehouse. We pick up one real-world project, because you cannot change everything. I think that's a mystery that you can change and go. And then project by project, we started carrying out. What is also important, we haven't been just lifting and shifting. We were trying it. It was a huge mistake. You need to transform. Why? Business is changing. It is completely different business 5 years ago, 7 years ago, when this specific legacy application was designed. So we were transforming, and typically, let's say we have legacy solution. What is needed typically is only 50% here of functionality, and 50% we need to add additionally. So right now, approximately 70% is in the cloud. We still have on-premise. It's a lot of work going forward, but that's our strategy to be as more as possible on cloud, and we do simply project by project, step by step. But whenever we have new projects, that's for sure cloud. That's for sure Azure. Yeah, that's in short. And the most important is experimenting, and also the most important is not to be locked, meaning trying to pick up open source. Why? Because of course right now we are in Azure, but we also would like to have possibility to switch vendor, to switch hosting partner in case of anything. Imagine that we have a new business and we start a new business somewhere, and we can't, for example, use Azure because maybe Azure is not available, or maybe Azure is not another point from a regulatory perspective. We need to have possibility to substitute hosting, but still our core engineering, let's say our Python, our PySpark frameworks, should be maybe not easily, but still possible to move to another vendor. That's in short. Yeah, thanks.
Great. Thank you, Vasyl. Next question.
What process and practices do you use to ensure high data quality and reliability in real-time context, especially for critical emergency operations?
Sure. Yeah. So first, we are trying to start, let's say, from the very beginning. Yeah. So first, we are trying to understand what is the actual business need. Yeah. So because if the data has to be processed in 5 seconds, it may be a different process than the data has to be processed in like 5 or 10 minutes, which would be actually not real time. It's like right time or near real time. Yeah. So first, we are ensuring that this is here we are on the same page with the business needs. Yeah. Then we even right now we are at the process checking how we can get the data in a way that simply enables us to process it in the time that is needed. Yeah. So currently, as I've shown you, currently data is should be extracted from database, stored, saved in the files, and then processed further. So of course, we are checking if the quality, the data that should be there in the files is what we are actually what we need. But we are also trying to ensure that this way of extracting data is simply, because let's be honest, it's not optimal right now. Yeah. If we need to have some process to extract data from database, store it in the file, then push it forward, it creates some delays, of course, and especially if some systems are on-premise. Like currently, we have one source system for our for instance, that app is on-premise one. Yeah, so that's why we'll be talking with the vendor of the system to check what are the possibilities to get the data in a different way. So for instance, to use the CDC process on a database, maybe to use some API. Yeah, we're checking possibilities to ensure that the data is that the delay is as small as possible. Yeah.
And to be honest, adding to it, Marek, it's spot on. It's completely different operational model. So when you do micro batches, micro batches, you have some predictability. Here, first of all, is 24% operations. And another part, what is really important, is to have human in a loop. You need to have all the time someone who also can check, especially because we know that user acceptance testing and functional testing is not enough in such type of operations. You need to ensure that you have human who, in case we spot, let's say, variations and deviations from our, let's say, standard level of quality, can jump and say, what is that? Because it's fire services, and it's really important that quality of data. I think it's work in progress. I think saying that it's, let's say, we have a golden medal in it would be too ambitious, and I believe such type of really critical process, they have to be tested. We always need to have also automated testing on the fly, and we also always need to have a human in a loop to make sure that we are actually reliable data processing organization here, and provide really good high quality service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Do you see the impact of AI on the creation of IT projects?
Yes. Yes. I think first of all, we started using AI by ourselves a lot. As we already mentioned, we have a whole dedicated team for AI, and all of us are trying to be ambassadors of it. First of all, we as the engineers, we believe we must use it in order to actually focus on what is important. We are using different tools for ADI to improve the way as we during software development lifecycle is first part. The second one, we see that our day-to-day work can be much effective and efficient, to be honest, using GenAI. Another one, I believe we will see more and more how much we can automate routine tasks, and going back, do not spend so much time on the papers and day-to-day work, but actually work for a project with a great value, and deliver results in the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Mark?
Full agree. Vasyl, what does your team look like? Do you use ChatGPT in projects? That's another question.
Yeah, I can answer for first one. And well, my team, it's quite diverse. We have data engineers, junior, mid, seniors, and so on. Tech leads. When we're talking about broader data analytics, data engineering is a part of the data analytics, so we also have business analysts. We also work with product owners in the business. And when it comes to team itself, it's quite diverse, and I'm really proud of it. And different nationalities. It's relatively young team. From one side, from another side, when it comes, so it's both operating here in Warsaw, in Copenhagen, and we also help to establish our colleagues in LATAM, in Colombia, data teams there. When it comes to use ChatGPT, we are really happy that we have great colleagues that sit nearby, and they actually develop what we call Falck GPT. So we are using LLM in a safe mode, meaning that we actually host and save all of that results on our site. We use GPT. Mm-hmm. We just call it Falck GPT because we develop. Our colleagues in a sister team developed this tool. Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. So
Great.
It seems that we answered all of the questions. Thank you very much. And I think, Vasyl, before we say goodbye, we can also share with you guys news about the upcoming presentation. Yeah. So you see this in the slide 4 guys. These 2 ones on the right will deliver you a great presentation about the data processing framework that we've been developing for a couple of years. Yeah. Already.
With a lot of code and examples and demos.
Yes. Yes. So at 11:30, please stay tuned. Please don't miss it. Please join Hubert and Pedro showing you all of the details about this framework.
Yes. Amazing framework. And thank you a lot. And thank you a lot for listening to us. Please feel free to reach to us. We have also a virtual stand. We are more than welcome to answer to all of your questions. And of course, join us, join Falck.
Yeah, and this presentation will be is recorded. Will be available in Facebook and YouTube. Thanks very much. Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.